Okay guys, I just came out to work on this and I thought I would just share how easy this is and how I like to. I am not a fan. I need 3 hands to do this, so you're not going to see me much. I'm just trying to get this camera positioned right. But I am not a fan of stripping furniture. If I don't have to get the stripper out, I don't want to. It's just a mess. It's time consuming, and it's just sometimes it doesn't work, and then you've got stripper that's still left on it and you have to sand it, and it's just a big mess. So I would much rather use my heat gun, and I have linked this one. This is my favorite one right now. I've used many heat guns, but this one I really, really like. I've linked it up above, and it looks like they've come out with a newer model where the top up here has some dials and stuff. Same brand, but I love these things. When I find pieces like, can you see this chair? I shared these on my stories. So they've got really cute detail, but they're so sturdy. I found 4 of them. And one of them was kind of, I'm sorry, you guys. I'm just trying to do this so you guys can see it and not make you dizzy. I'm not going to move the camera again. So one of them was kind of already stripped, and I loved the color of the wood underneath. So I wanted to, I'm hoping you guys can see this. I tried to pull it out of the sun. So I want to take not all of the paint, I mean, most of the paint off. But these heat guns, if you can see that, the paint just bubbles, and then you literally, I just use an old scraper. This is just a rusty old scraper. And then it pulls the paint right off. Look at that, you guys. It's so much fun. It's so satisfying, and it's so much easier than the stripper. A lot of times when I use stripper, I have to leave it on overnight. Trying to hold this chair in place, not kick the camera, still leave it in view. Here, let me try this. I have to leave it on overnight, cover it in plastic, and then the next day, hopefully it's worked. A lot of times it doesn't. But the heat gun, if you do not have a heat gun, I think, you guys, this is under 40 bucks. I think it was $39. It's one of my favorite tools for projects like this. This and an orbital sander, I would tell anybody to get. But I kind of want, so what I will do is once I get all this paint off, and I don't even know if I'll do this on the legs, and it gets hot. We didn't have power a little bit ago, so I thought I wanted to do these, and then the power came back on. And it's not that bad today, but it's not a fun project to do if it's really, really hot and humid, just because everything is hot around you when you're running this. But I will run a sander over this once I get most of this paint off. And I'm hoping that I can still keep some of the white in the wood. And like I said, on the legs, I mean, they're really kind of, let's see if I can, they're kind of detailed in a lot of curves. And but with the stripper, I feel like it gets caught in these, oh, you can't see that, in the spindles right in here, and it's hard to get the stripper out. And but with the heat gun, you can kind of just get the tip of your putty knife inside here, and then it's just so much easier to work with. So the first thing I always do, if I want to get some paint layer off, or I just kind of want to see what the wood is underneath this can be on a dresser, on anything, I use the heat gun and just do it like underneath, try it underneath your piece to see what's going to happen or if it's going to work. Up above on these, if you can, let me see if I can get this so you guys can see. You can see here, it's kind of got some natural chipping, which I love, but oh, see, this is coming off right here. But I'm going to need to use the heat gun off on this too, and it's coming off really, really well. Now, if you hold your heat gun on a place, you'll start seeing some smoke and you'll see smoke anyway sometimes, but I've gotten some dark spots. Usually, as long as you haven't, held it on there really super long, usually I can sand out the dark spots if I've set it on there too long, but basically you want to keep it moving. If you've got the heat gun on, you want to keep it moving. So it is a two-hand job. As soon as this heats up high enough, And there's different settings. And like I said, the one, I think their newer model has the, you know, the temperature up here, so you can move it up and down. But you just want to, you know, usually for me, I have to turn it all the way on high. And I just hold it in a spot until that paint starts to bubble. And once it bubbles, you know that that's the heat setting you need. And that's when you need to, can you guys see that? That's when you need to start moving. You just don't want to leave it sitting in one spot for too long. You guys, I mean, these kind of projects, it's kind of like pulling tile, pulling wallpaper off when it comes off. We've all had those nightmare wallpaper stories. I could do these projects all day long. Really, I kind of get lost in them. And then here, if you guys kind of saw that, it'll take the first layer of paint off, which is fine. You don't have to get both layers. Just go back over it and it'll pull up that yellow. It looks like there was a yellow paint under here, but as I've been doing the tops of these chairs, there's green paint underneath, which it's pulling right off, so I'm not going to be able to keep it, but unless after I do some of my sanding. So can you see some of that smoke there? I don't know if you guys can see this. I did have this out in the sun, but it's kind of glaring and not easy to see. So that smoke, it will smoke sometimes. Doesn't mean that you're burning the wood yet, but if you just keep it moving. Look at that. Okay. I won't bore you with any more, but like I said, I could do this. Oh, another thing I was going to say, this is not a spatula, your putty knife. If you can get one, can you see this? That is flexible like this. You know, some of them, the better, especially on furniture when you've got curves, and this seat kind of goes in right here. I know you can't see from there, so it's not a flat surface, it kind of goes in. So then these bendable ones, you're able to work around those curves and stuff with the piece of furniture. So try and get a flexible putty knife. But anyway, I'm going to keep working on this. I just thought I would get on here and share one of my favorite tools. If you guys don't have one of these, they're not expensive. And if you do any kind of projects like this, they're great for peeling veneer as well. So if you have some pieces of furniture that has some veneer peeling off or layers peeling off, this is another thing I grab first before I try my other ways to get it off. And if it comes off easy with this, it's just so easy and so handy to have on hand. So I just thought I'd share that today. Hope you're all having a great day, and I will hop on soon.